auto manufacturers reporting sales number this morning. Chrysler's up 20%, still missed expectations. Nissan just narrowly topped. Honda fell short. What are your thoughts on the outlook for U.S. auto sales?
You know, we've kind of pushed auto sales as far as I think we're going to push them. It's a very, very high level of activity. We've done it on the backdrop of extensive discounting of product. For example, Chevy Cruze is Chevy's advertising the Chevy Cruze for $69 a month, zero down. I mean, that's a pretty cheap automobile. And you see that throughout the entire spectrum of the auto complex, where people are really using residual values and the low cost of financing to really drive activity. And when you consider the consumer in terms of the cost of maintaining an older automobile these days, talking about, you know, replacing brakes, replacing tires, or for that matter, just even these days replacing spark plugs, which are now very expensive because they last a lot longer. You wind up in an environment where it's almost cheaper to swap into a newer vehicle, even if you have to pay $1,500 down. You don't have all those upcoming expense items. And that's what's happening. You're getting people to go into the showrooms because of the expense of the repairs and the discounting of the product, and that's taking away from some of other consumer-related activity because it is an expensive product. It's a big portion of their disposable income. It costs a lot to maintain and to go forward with, and they're substituting to try to cut their costs as much as possible, but it is driving up domestic auto sales on the backdrop of it. The counterbalance to that is that automobile production has been very, very heavy, and automobile inventories aren't really coming down. In fact, they've accumulated quite nicely in the backdrop of this, back to a level we were just prior to the crisis, many years ago, which is an unrealistically high level of inventory. And I think that just bodes for the fact that production will not continue to accelerate as we go forward into 2015.